Hey, what is up? All right, so we got the Fragment event calendar for Walking Tomb DRENG right here, and he seems to be a very good legendary, whether you are a new player, a free-to-play player, late game player. He's going to be very useful, so I expect that every single player will go after him. All right, so we have the Fragment event calendar right here, but I will be sharing some 5 tips, especially for those newer players or free-to-play players to help you get through this Fragment event. But this should be fairly simple. Even if you're quite new to the game, and even if you're lacking some resources in terms of energy or shards, I think you can still get this fragment, and you should really do your best to do so. All right, so first thing is Dungeon Divers right here on July 9 on Saturday. Now, this Dungeon Divers has really bad timing. That is because we have Dragon Tournament actually just starting today, right now, and Champion Training event also. And these two events, you want these to coincide with the Dungeon Divers, but it will come 2 days later. So that is quite unfortunate right there. So what you should be doing right now is focus on champion training first. Go run the campaign, get your or level up your champions to get points for champion training event. You can do a little bit of dragon because you might not wait for until Saturday to do dragon, because then you might run out of energy. You're not going to have enough energy to get all of the necessary points in dragon tournament to get the fragment. So yes, you can do a little bit of dragon, but don't go crazy on dragon yet. Wait until Saturday, July 9, to go to really pour in all of your energy into dragon, so that you can maximize, be efficient with your energy, so that you can get dragon tournament points and dungeon divers point. And this might seem like you have 2 days for dragon tournament and dungeon divers together, but that is actually just one day, just 24 hours. Dragon will end on Sunday, and dungeon divers will start on Saturday. You actually just have, that is just around 24 hours, give or take 1 or 2 hours. So it's going to be really tough if you're going to wait until Saturday to start doing dragon. You can start doing it now, but when Saturday comes and dungeon divers event starts, go hard on it. Go hard on dragon. Spend all of your energy. Use some gems, even if you're missing some energy, especially if you're newer, you're just at level 40, level 50, then yes, you're going to need to use some gems to refill your energy to get the required points to get the fragments from Dragon Tournament and Dungeon Divers. All right, so that's tip number one. Also, yeah, second part of tip number one is you actually can also get more Dungeon Divers event points from the Ice Golem here, but that again, similar to the Dragon Tournament, you only have 1 day of overlap here. So Dungeon Divers will end on Tuesday. Ice Golem will begin on Monday. So yeah, so just 24 hours again. So immediately on Monday, as soon as Ice Golem tournament starts, use all of your energy from your dailies, every single energy that you can spend on Monday, use it on Ice Golem so that you can maximize the Dungeon Divers event. Because after Tuesday, all of your Ice Golem runs don't have Dungeon Divers points. So as much as possible, get as much Ice Golem tournament points on Monday and Tuesday before Dungeon Divers event ends. All right, so that's it. That's a really bad timing there. The other Dungeon Divers events, like this one on July 14 and July 19, those are okay because this one overlaps with the Spider Tournament. This one overlaps with the Champion Training and the Fire Knight. So that's okay, I think. Of course, the Fire Knight starting on the second day of Dungeon Divers, so that's okay as well. It's just this first one, really bad timing. All right, next one is we do have a Summon Rush here, and as usual, I like to advise free-to-play or newer players to avoid pulling shards during a summon rush, because that's usually a times 10 event, which is of course you just get a times 10 chance to get certain legendary champions or epic champions, but your base chance of getting any legendary or epic is still the same. So yeah, so during a times 10 event or a summon rush, we want to avoid pulling as much as possible, but of course we will need a total of 115 fragments, or no, we will get a total of 115 fragments if you complete every single one of these, but you only need 100 fragments to complete the fusion. So we have 20 fragments here, which means, yes, you don't need to get all 20, but you need to get 5. And they usually divide this by 5 and 15 during a summon rush. Based on the previous event that we have, you will need around 2,000 or 2,100 points to get 5 fragments. So that's quite a lot. If you're using mystery shards, that's 2,000 mystery shards. And yes, it is better, especially if you're a free-to-play or a new player, to use mystery shards as much as possible so that you don't waste your ancients, voids, and sacreds during a summon rush, during a time-step event. I do have, in my own account, I do have around almost 3,000 mystery shards. So yes, I will be most likely be pulling those during this summon rush. All right. So stockpile on mystery shards. If you do not have 2,000 mystery shards, then yes, you have to be ready to say goodbye to some of your ancients, voids, or sacreds just to get the required points to get those 5 fragments from the summon rush here. You don't need to get all 20 because there's 5 and then 15. The 15 is just extra, assuming of course you get all of the other fragments from all of these events. So yeah, so you can skip the 15. All right, so tip number 3, we do have a ×2 void event tomorrow for this champion chase. So this of course the best time to pull all of your void shards, especially if you're new to the game or a free-to-play player. Pull all of your voids during this champion chase, and you should be able to get the 15 fragments here. If not, if you're still missing voids, because of course for newer players voids are very difficult to get, then yes, you can pull some mysteries, maybe a few ancients, maybe a few sacreds. Don't go crazy though. Or alternatively, you can also run campaign, and whenever you get a champion from the campaign, you can get a 2-star or a 3-star champion. That would also count towards champion chase. Not summon rush though, only champion chase. So that's the difference between those two events. All right, so that's tip number 3. Tip number 4 is during this ×2 void shard weekend, of course, you're going to get void champions. And let me just go to my game real quick. All right, so when you are getting void champions, look out for these 4 void rares. This one, this one, this one, and this one. Why? Because you can take advantage of fusing Broadmaw, which is a permanent fusion in this game. No matter how many times you fuse him, this fusion right here will remain. And why do you want to fuse Broadmaw over and over again? And why do you want to stockpile these rares? It is because you can get a lot of champion chase points by fusing a void epic. Yeah, that's basically it. And after you fuse a void epic, you can use that extra Broadmaw as a to level up your own Broadmaw skills, or you can use him as a 4-star chicken. Yeah, so he won't go to waste. You'll get a lot of champion chase points, and you can also use him as a chicken or use him to book your own Broadmaw skills. So that is why I always advise players, especially newer players. As you can see, I have these champions right there in the vault, just ready to go. I'm just missing this 3rd rare right here. And then I can fuse Broadmaw. If I do happen to pull 2 of these guys on this weekend, then yeah, I can fuse 2 Broadmaws. And that's a lot of champion chase points. And if you get 1st place, or maybe I think 1st and 2nd place, or I think it's just first place in a tournament, you can get 5 extra fragments. When you get 5 extra fragments, then yes, you can skip Summon Rush. Don't have to worry about the 2,000 mystery shards. You can totally skip Summon Rush if you manage to, of course, win one of the tournaments. Now, of course, as a free-to-play player or a new player, that's going to be very difficult. But I'm assuming you're going to be up against other new players, other free-to-play players. So yes, you might have a chance. Yeah, so that's tip number 4. Fuse Broadmaw during a champion chase event. Look out for these 4 void rares. And the last one, let's go back to our Fragment event calendar right here. We have a Spider Tournament and a Dungeon Divers on July 19, and we are expecting another Clan versus Clan on July 19. So, and yeah, we are also expecting personal rewards for that Clan versus Clan, because the current, or the Clan versus Clan that we just finished a few days ago, or was it just yesterday, that did not have personal rewards. Usually they alternate it. It's not 100%, but that's the usual schedule that they go with. So on July 19, we might have clan versus clan with personal rewards. So yes, you can do a lot of spider runs, and of course you can double dip that with dungeon divers, and yeah, that should be no problem for a lot of players, right? So yeah, those are 5 free-to-play tips for completing this fragment, and I really think you should go for this one. Even if, let's say, you're an end game player and you've already finished all of the content in this game, I think he's really cool. Yeah, and definitely, fragment events are one of the easier ones, and you can just simply for end game players, you can simply complete this just by doing these everyday stuff. This should be no problem. All right, that is it. 5 tips for all of you free to play and new players in this game. I hope you get your Walking Tomb DRENG. He is a great champion. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.